Hello again, and welcome to Sanlando Soundwaves. I'm Jerry Evans, and this is week 5, fourth day of this week, but day 24 in our study. Today our attention is drawn to page 39. Listen to these words from the 3rd chapter of Genesis, verses 14 to 19. And quite frankly, these are verses that I have struggled with throughout my Christian journey. So the Lord said to the serpent, "Because you have done this, cursed are you above all livestock and all wild animals. You will crawl on your belly, and you'll eat dust all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head, and you will strike his heel." To the woman, he said, "I will make your pains in childbearing very severe. With painful labor you will give birth to children. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you." And to Adam, he said, "Because you listened to your wife and ate fruit of the tree about which I commanded you, that I said you must not eat from it. Cursed is the ground because of you. Through painful toil you will eat food from it all the days of your life. It will produce thorns and thistles for you, and you will eat the plants of the field. By the sweat of your brow you will eat your food until you return to the ground, since it was from there you were taken. For dust you are, and to dust you will return." Please reflect with me on these 7 questions. What does this passage say? What did this passage mean to its original audience? What does this passage tell us about God? And what does this passage tell us about humanity? What does this passage demand of me? How does this passage change the way I relate to people? And what does this passage prompt me to pray to God? Now let's read a brief devotional regarding these verses. The consequences for sin were immediate. Because God is holy, he could not look the other way and pretend that Adam and Eve had not disobeyed him. His punishments, if you notice, began with the serpent, whose life would now be spent crawling on its stomach and would one day suffer death at the hands of Eve's offspring. Way back in Genesis, God revealed a plan to destroy Satan, though at this point in the story, no one knew who this offspring would be. The story of the Old Testament traces the child of Eve through generations all the way to Jesus, the fulfillment of this promise. But the judgment did not stop with Satan. Both the woman and the man suffered as well. Childbirth would be painful, work would be difficult, and relationships would become strained. And perhaps, worst of all, Adam and Eve would suffer death as a penalty for their sin. Rather than live forever, subject to the curse of sin, they would return to the dust from which they were made. It was good to have you join us today. Looking forward to finishing week 5 with you tomorrow. Please tune in.